It's 2023. Are you prioritizing your brain health? If not, then listen closely because adding nootropics to my regimen helped my willpower and productivity go through the roof. And for my money, Qualia Mind is the most complete brain fuel formula on the planet. Our sponsor, Neurohacker, combines 28 of the most research-backed nootropic ingredients on Earth into the ultimate brain fuel formula. It helps with my daily mental performance and helps supporting my long-term brain health. It's so cool to take a product where you don't have to wonder if it's working because I noticed a difference in just days to my focus, my mood, my memory, and my willpower to finally get things done. The formula is non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, and the ingredients are meant to complement one another, factoring in each ingredient's effect on supporting mental clarity. It is also backed by a 100-day money-back guarantee, so you have almost 3 months to try Qualia Mind at no financial risk and decide for yourself. See what the best brain fuel formula on earth can do for your mindset. Go to neurohacker.com/reps for $100 off. And as a listener of Between the Reps, use code REPS, R-E-P-S, at checkout for an extra 15% off your first purchase. That's neurohacker.com/reps to try Qualia Mind with code REPS to experience life-changing mental performance.
Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
My glasses too.
I just realized I can't see shit. Dude, I'm getting blinder by the day. And I got home and the first thing I did is open this booch and just spilled it down the front of me. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
Nice. You got a hole in your lip?
Got a hole in my lip. Reminds me of the first time I ever got Botox in my lip. Took like 3 days and I was like on a girl's trip in Palm Springs and all of a sudden I couldn't close my mouth and I just had shit dripping out my mouth and I was like, never again.
Never again.
Why was this a good idea?
I got lid ptosis from it once where my eyelid.
Oh yeah, the sagger?
For I don't know, 2 months.
I've heard of that. You look a little stroked out.
Yep. Everybody at the gym called me Sloth from the Goonies.
That's got to be an ego booster.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
There's a little sloth.
But I mean, they also...
Thanks, guys. Hey, you guys.
But they also got me a t-shirt, like the Superman t-shirt that he wears in the movie.
Stop it.
Yeah. So it was like...
That's funny. That's really funny, but also asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how my gym rolled.
You're like, my self-esteem has never come back.
Right. Never recovered.
It's never recovered. Dude, I've taken like 3 sips off this and I already feel buzzed.
You're drinking booch?
Mm-hmm.
Booch.
I mean, what else does a grandma do after watching a kid all day?
That sounds about right.
Oh, what a loser I am. No, I haven't been drinking that much, which for me is like a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I do it on a Monday.
After watching the baby.
Oh my God.
Not during watching the baby.
No, of course not. No. It's funny. I watched her on Saturday. So the kids, 2 of my 2 boys and then their wives went to a wedding. And so I watched her on Saturday and I had a very proud, responsible mother moment because, I'm not very responsible when it comes to like drinking and going out and all of that. Like in the last, 7 years or whatever it is. And so I had stayed with the baby all day. So Joey and Morgan get home. And so I go home and then I fell asleep and my oldest son calls me, Mom, we can't get an Uber. And I was like, wow, there was a time when there's definitely not a chance that I could have driven at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at 53. I'm
Right.
finally like, oh, wow, like I can drive.
I'll be right there, son.
Yeah. And so I went and picked him up, and then, his wife was puking, and yeah, it was fun.
Oh, wow.
It just shows your job is never done.
That your job is mother's job is never
And
done.
mother's job is never done. But
Well,
yeah,
that's good that you were able to go get them.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, luckily so far, there hasn't been a time when I'm like, I'm also drunk and cannot come and pick you up.
But let me make some calls to some of my
Right. Somehow the gods have aligned, and that has never happened. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And my son was reminding me on the way home. So we were talking about, I don't even know what he was talking about. He was like super drunk. And he was reiterating how upset he is that he found out that the reason. So my oldest son, Jordan, is 33. I had him I think I got pregnant at 18, had him at 19, which of course now I look at my kids and I'm like, what the fuck? Right. I mean, you were young too, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no way that they should have ever lived. No. He just found out about, I would say like maybe 8 months ago, that the reason that I named him Jordan is not for the reason he thought. So
I think we talked about this on
did we talk about this already?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about it again.
Well, no, remind everybody though.
So I'll remind everybody. Jordan thought that I had named him after Michael Jordan, and he has stuck to this for 32 years until he realized that it's because this one guy, Jordan, that I thought was really hot back in the day, decided on acid to paint my body in glow in the dark paint, is who he's named after. And he cannot.
Maybe you haven't told that.
I haven't told it.
I feel like we were talking about how our kids like keep reminding us of all of the ways that we've messed up or ways that we've let them down. And I thought Jordan's name was one of them, but I could be wrong.
No, I think I talked about Finn, my granddaughter's name, and how that is like one of the names that I wanted for Ruby. But I don't know if I've ever told this story because he was under the impression this whole time, because like when he was little, he always had like Michael Jordan, like, Jordan shoes and all this stuff. And of course, I think I have already talked about this, but I, was basically like, oh, Jordan's like a really cool name. That's like a name you don't hear. And then it became like the most popular name of the year. And I guess I never told him why I named him Jordan. Excuse me. I'm like burping. So I basically had to tell him, he was like at Kylie, my older daughter's, house. And he was telling everyone like, yeah, I'm named after Michael Jordan. And I was like, yeah, you wish. Like really hot, like the best basketball player ever.
Right.
Yeah. No, you weren't. You were named after this 19-year-old kid who painted my body
on acid.
On acid. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And he was like, Mom, I could have gone my whole life without ever knowing that. It is
so funny.
Is it not our job to like totally fuck our kids up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. Fuck them up. Fuck them up. Fuck them up.
He was getting way too comfortable and stable. You had to throw one in there to him.
Yeah, no, it had been years since, I'd really fucked him up. So I had to like throw in a zinger.
Yeah. Remember me?
Remember that? Fuck. Oh. Yeah, so he was reminding me on the way. He was like, yeah, now my whole life's fucked up because now I know. What's funny is like, I was having a moment. I'm like downtown Santa Cruz, and I'm trying to figure out like where they are, right? Because they're both drunk. And listeners. I I don't want you guys to think my kids are like super fucked up, but like, it was a wedding and blah, blah, blah. So Jordan goes, he starts out by saying, so this was a friend of his wife's who also my other son's wife does her hair. And he goes, Mom, it's crazy. Everybody in the wedding's an ex-con. I go, what? So anyway, so that's how the whole thing started. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Ex-con. So not a current con.
Not
so that's
currently.
Good. Yeah. So I already know that my son is like downtown with this group of people that he doesn't really know. And so I drive down there and I'm trying to like get them to like tell me like, where are you? Where are you? I'm like, I felt like a total Uber driver. Like I'm on the corner of, this and this. And so he's like, oh, he kept saying Nick the Greek. And I go, okay, that's a restaurant. I don't know where that is. Can you just come to like this place? So all of a sudden I'm like waiting there and they come around the corner and Sammy, my daughter-in-law, is in her cute little dress, no shoes, just ping ponging down the street. And I go, oh no. So I get them in the car. We're driving home and Sammy's in the back and, Jordan's like, spilling his guts to me about his name and how upset he is. And then Sammy is in the back and she goes, I think I'm going to throw up. And I go, okay, that's okay. We'll pull over. We pull over and Jordan's in the front being like the very attentive husband that he is going, nah, she's fine, Mom. She's fine. She said this all the time. And I was like, no, she doesn't. I pull over and I get her out of the car. She doesn't throw up. She's, wants to get back in the car. We pull down, we go down the street some more. And I hear her in the back do like a burp throw up.
Oh.
Where she's like, and I go, oh no. So I pull over again, pull her out of the car, bless her heart. She gets sick. She's apologizing the whole time. I'm like, girl, I've been there. Like, yeah. I get it. And so the next day, and all I'm concerned about, I'm not even concerned about her throwing up. I'm concerned about the fact that she's walking around downtown without shoes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like herpes of the feet.
Yuck. Yeah. Right.
I don't know. Is there gonorrhea of the feet? I don't know. There's something, chlamydia of the feet. There's something that she has contracted. And so we get her home, walk her inside. Everything's fine. I check in with him the next day and I go, yeah, I was really worried about you. Like when you didn't have your shoes, she goes, what? I thought my shoes were in your car. I go, no, babe. No, there are no shoes. I don't know when you lost them.
But they're gone.
But they're gone. And like downtown Santa Cruz is a little icky. It's a little dirty.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's, check your feet, scrub them.
Yeah. Change your sheets.
Yeah, change your sheets.
It's 2023. Are you prioritizing your brain health? If not, then listen closely because adding nootropics to my regimen helped my willpower and productivity go through the roof. And for my money, Qualia Mind is the most complete brain fuel formula on the planet. Our sponsor, Neurohacker, combines 28 of the most research-backed nootropic ingredients on Earth into the ultimate brain fuel formula. It helps with my daily mental performance and helps supporting my long-term brain health. My job as Brooke's wizard requires me to have a very good memory and a lot of focus and organization. Sometimes that doesn't always come naturally to me. So when I heard about Qualia Mind, I decided to give it a try. It's so cool to take a product where you don't have to wonder if it's working because I noticed a difference in just days to my focus, my mood, my memory, and my willpower to finally get things done. The formula is non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, and the ingredients are meant to complement one another, factoring in each ingredient's effect on supporting mental clarity. It is also backed by a 100-day money-back guarantee, so you have almost 3 months to try Qualia Mind at no financial risk and decide for yourself. See what the best brain fuel formula on earth can do for your mindset. Go to neurohacker.com/reps for $100 off. And as a listener of Between the Reps, use code REPS, REPS, at checkout for an extra 15% off your first purchase. That's neurohacker.com/reps to try Qualia Mind with code REPS to experience life-changing mental performance.
The fact that there's even any room in their bed for the two of them. I went over to their house the other day and I created crazy Disney adults.
Okay.
Okay. So our family has always been very Disney. Like we used to go like once a year and the kids did it, every year. And so I've created this little nerdle monster. And so Jordan and Sammy went to Disneyland for their honeymoon, which is every single person I've told, they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, no, they did.
I mean, I know a couple people that have done that too. So.
I know. And I know there's like been memes about it. I've had friends send it to me, like, like adults that love Disney. And shit, now I can't remember why I was talking about it.
That they didn't have room in their bed.
Oh, because they bought every single stuffed animal known to man. So I went and, they weren't thinking when they bought all these things and I went over to their house and their entire bed is covered in Disney fucking stuffed animals. And I was like, what? What has happened? Who are you?
That's so funny.
Yeah, I made you. You're welcome. Maybe it was the guy that was on acid, but I didn't actually have sex with him.
I was gonna say maybe it's from his namesake. But
that is not his father. For our listeners, that is not his biological father. Oh my goodness. So yeah.
Well, fun.
That was my weekend and
good job momming.
Yeah, I was momming.
You were.
I was momming all weekend. How are things with you?
I was sick over the weekend. I got like food poisoning or something.
Which everyone always says after they've gone out drinking.
I wish
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So that I knew there was an end to it, but this was like, oh my gosh. I was at my parents' house with Faith and we were by the pool and doing our thing, had dinner, came home that night. I had a snack in the middle of the night that I probably shouldn't have had.
What was it?
Oh, it was cookie dough.
Oh, ew. Was it like left on the counter? That's like instant diarrhea.
No, it was in the fridge, but it was a couple days old.
Oh, okay.
I know. Disgusting. And I woke up that next morning and I was so sick. It was like when you described how sick you were with norovirus.
That was awful.
That's kind of how it felt.
Yeah, no, it's brutal.
Yeah, it was bad. So I was in bed all day yesterday and but I'm feeling better today. Still not like 100%, but I'm mostly better.
Yeah, well, good.
Yeah.
I just found out that so it was my other son Joey's birthday last Monday. So I had all the kids over on Thursday. And I'm like, Joey, like, what do you want me to make? Like, whatever you want. And he wanted meatloaf. Just so funny to me.
That is a funny one to pick.
Right? I want meatloaf. And I go, okay, like, do you want like meatloaf, mashed potatoes? Do you want green beans? Do you want salad? He goes, just meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans. That's it. So it's funny because they got here later than other people. And I kept going, sorry, it's meatloaf.
Sorry.
I made like 8. Boy wanted. Yeah. I made like 8 meatloafs. Meatloaves. And so everyone, we all ate. And of course I had a little extra. So I sent everybody home with meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans. And Sammy tells me on Saturday when I go to watch the baby, we're at the house, and she goes, oh man, that meatloaf gave me diarrhea. And I go, what? And I go, and then Jordan goes, yeah, it gave me diarrhea too. And then Joey says, yeah, my stomach hurt. I didn't have diarrhea, but my stomach hurt. And all I'm thinking is like, oh my God, did I give my entire family food poisoning? Meatloaf poisoning?
That's what you get for wanting meatloaf, Joey.
And so of course, I'm like obsessed with finding out if I've given them food poisoning. So I'm like trying to, I'm asking every single person there, like, did you? Like, so basically out of 14 people, 5 people got diarrhea from my meatloaf.
Do you know?
So I feel like the odds are in my favor. Huh?
Do you know if they all ate off of the same one? Because you ate 8 different ones.
No, I don't. I don't. I have no idea. Oh, wow. I should have gone further. Is what you're saying.
Deep dive that shit, Jeanna. You should have been like, okay.
Which meatloaf was the culprit?
Next time you give your family food poisoning. I know.
I'm just picking and choosing. I'm like, you 5 are on my shit list. Yeah. Literally. So you get the food poisoning.
You get that one.
You get the bad meatloaf. Hey guys, welcome to Between the Reps with Brooke, Jeanna, and Devin. Brooke can't be with us.
Yeah, she's making her way back from San Diego.
That sounds like a song. Making her way back from San Diego.
Went to a country concert down there.
We know what's most important.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
It was a family trip, so sounds like they had a good time.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They went and saw who? Morgan Wallen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brooke, well, he's very popular right now. So anybody that likes country music knows him and probably
I don't know one song that he sings. Sing us a little ditty.
No.
Go. Oh my God.
Oh shit. Now I can't think of it. It runs through my head like on a daily basis. And now I can't think of the lyrics. One of them's called One Thing at a Time. Nobody listening wants me to sing it. Nobody.
Do it.
No. And yeah, and so, she likes that artist and but Mike Finn,
mm-hmm.
He's his tour manager for this tour.
Yeah, because he used to be the tour manager for Dylan Francis.
Right. He's done a bunch of people.
He's been on the podcast before, I think.
Yeah, you guys did have him on a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it was during COVID.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was during COVID, and he was like in his house, just all the shades down, like in a ghost town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he worked in the music industry, and that was
done.
Yeah, nothing was going on.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
Yeah.
People were like, I guess I can get a job at Whole Foods. Just T Swift.
Yeah.
Just checking out. T.
Singing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to see her. I got Faith tickets for her graduation from Davis
Dude, the fact that you could even get tickets is insane.
There were 3 of us. We all applied because you had to register to get a pre-sale code.
Right.
So all of us registered to get a pre-sale code. It was me, Faith, and her best friend, Katie. And then we all had our computers out because you could log in at 10 a.m. or whatever time it was. And Faith struck out, I struck out, and Katie ended up being the one that got them.
Wow, you guys really lucked out because my sister, so we have, I don't know what you call it, but we have season tickets for the Niners, the 49ers at Levi Stadium, like the family does, the business. And we're supposed to have pre-sale options or whatever. And so my sister was trying to get them, and I've already seen her in concert. I took Ruby like years ago, and she does a great concert. But my friend Courtney really loves her and really wanted to go. So I was like, okay, get us 4 tickets. So she went on there and something happened, and basically everybody that was supposed to be pre-sale got kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the drama. And then all of a sudden it was like all the tickets were like, I don't know, like so inflated and ridiculous. And so we were like, fuck this. Like, we're not doing it. So the fact that you got them is amazing.
You could actually see. So then I tried to log back in and for a different day, because we had all registered for different days. Also. So we were, taking our chances, or thought our chances would be better if we were all trying for different days. So I logged back in, and you could see the seats just disappearing. Like you'd click on them and they'd be gone. And click on, you'd be like, shit, next section, click on it, gone. I ended up getting 3 that were up in the nosebleed section. And I was just like, I may as well get them because I can resell them. And I ended up giving them to a friend of mine because her daughter's like in love with her, and it was her 18th birthday. So I ended up.
Yeah. And you didn't want to inflate them because you'd be part of the problem, Devin.
Oh, I know. But I was just like, well, we have an insurance policy if something happens,
Right.
So, but I ended up just giving them to her.
Oh, you're sweet.
Well,
It's just who I am.
I felt it was shitty the way that happened, and people couldn't get tickets.
Yeah. I think Courtney, my friend, is actually going to go to Europe
to see her,
watch her, because she already wants to go with her sister. And so she was like, I'm just going to go to Europe because they have laws against inflating all this shit. And I'll like actually get a ticket for, and I was like, yeah, but you're going to Europe. Like, I was going to go, but you're going to Europe. Like, that's a airfare. That's a whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah. But she was like, no, I was going to go anyway. So,
well,
you got to love just being, have no kids.
She is such a free spirit. Like, she's just
Courtney.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just love her.
I know. She's like, I'm going to go, like when we went to Bali, and she's like, I'm going to go to Lombok and do a surf camp by myself.
Right.
I'm like, I can never be by myself.
How did you go by yourself?
I know.
How did you get there?
It's like I tried one time. I've told this story before, but like when Brooke was doing Amazons or the whatever it was, Justice League or
Wonder
Woman, sorry. And we were going from London to Italy, and I left a day early because I was like, I was newly divorced or separated. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to Naples. This is going to be my time to shine. I'm going to be by myself, and
You're going to have a whole eat, pray, love.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And, or like under the Tuscan sun moment, right? I'm going to meet my Italian man. And I remember I got there, and she was like, you're really leaving early? And I was like, yeah, I need like a day to myself. And I'm flying out of Naples the next day. So I need like 24 hours there. And I remember just like walking around being like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Like what? Where am I? And so I was like, well, what should I do? Oh, I should go to, because supposedly I say that loosely. Maybe it is. It's like the original pizza, like where pizza was created.
Yeah.
So I go to the first pizza place ever, and it was called something Margarita or whatever. And I go upstairs and I think, like, this is my moment, be by myself. I'm going to eat alone. Some gentleman's going to see me from across the way. Didn't happen. They sat me at a table that faced the stairway. I was the only person sitting there by myself. I felt so pathetic. And I think I was texting Brooke like, oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever done. Like, this does not feel
really dumb.
Yeah. I don't feel independent at all. And then I'm realizing my phone is dying and I have to walk back to the hotel. And there's like this group of men, because I don't know if anyone's been to Naples. It's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty. Sorry if anybody's, what do you call it? Napolese? Napoleons? I don't know. It's kind of shitty. And I'm walking back to the hotel and I'm like, my phone's dying and I don't necessarily remember where my hotel is. And I've got this group of men, not attractive, because
right.
I mean, if they were attractive, it would be
totally it would have been way better.
Way better. That's a joke, guys. And I've got this group of men following me, like catcalling me, like, oh, I don't speak Italian. They're saying a bunch of stuff to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die in Naples. My independent woman moment is dead. It's dead.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I did actually make it there and it was fine, but never again.
Okay, so no solo travel.
No solo trips. And, you go on Instagram and you see people all the time, just, it's so regenerating and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're on Instagram. You're right. Bored.
Right.
Stop posting then.
And honestly, they're probably not alone.
Or if they are, you're bored.
Right.
You're bored.
Yeah. I mean, you would have to be.
Yes.
I like my alone time, but not if I'm traveling.
Yeah. At home. If I'm traveling, I want to have somebody to experience what I'm doing with. And there's probably so many listeners who are like, I do it all the time and I'm great. Well, you know what? You are a way better person than me. Me
too. I've never been out to dinner.
I'm codependent. I'm codependent.
I'm proud of it. I don't know how people do that, because some people go out to dinner by themselves and just totally happy, or go to the movies by themselves. Have you ever done that?
So I did one time. And it's because my ex and I were separated. And I literally didn't have one friend to hang out with. And I was like, because we were doing this, when it was his time, he would hang at the house. We were still sharing the same house. And I felt so pathetic that I didn't have one friend that was available to hang out with me. So I went to the movies and I slept. I slept through 2 movies. And all I thought was and I think I cried a little bit too.
Probably. Yeah. I would have been crying.
Yeah. Because I was like, this is my life now.
I'm so pathetic.
I'm so pathetic. I'm sleeping in a movie theater with, probably 3 homeless people.
The middle of the day.
Yeah. It was like a Sunday at 2. Oh, good one, matinee.
That's so funny.
No,
No,
my sister used to go to movies all the time by herself, and it's because she can't stand people talking. She's like very, very clear about her boundaries when it comes to movies. And she and my oldest daughter are this kind of like the same way. And I used to think it was always very strange that she would go by herself. And then I was like, well, and then she would explain it. She'd be like, well, I mean, like you're not talking to anyone,
yeah.
you're not like having any kind of conversation. So why not just go by yourself? And I was like, loser,
Loser,
loser.
whatever. Independent woman.
She's also the same person that always thinks there's a bomb in her car.
Why does she think is someone after her?
I mean, it runs in my family of being like very, very scared of everything. And it's probably because we've watched too many scary movies, but she used to always think there was a bomb in her car. And she would tell me how she would go to movies and she would look under her car for a bomb as if she had any idea what a bomb would look like. Any idea. And I'd say that to her. I'd be like, Michaela, so like, what does it look like? She's like, I don't know, but I just check. I just check under my car.
Just to see.
Yeah.
There's anything bomb-like.
Yeah. There's like, just like a giant sign that says bomb with a red light flashing.
Right. Or like I picture one of those, like a clock like this.
Yeah.
One of those old, like alarm clocks.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Seriously. And I'm like, okay, so then what? She's like, finally, it's been years and I finally found the bomb.
I knew it.
I knew someone was out to bomb me.
Oh my God. So funny.
It is funny. I mean, where do we go from there?
I don't know.
I don't either. Oh, she texted me.
Michaela?
Same sister. Yeah, same sister. Oh, because I had to pick her kid up.
Oh, that's right.
It's so weird. So Michaela's like, hey, can you pick up Echo, her son?
Mm-hmm.
He's in like a theater group and I was thinking about this. I was like, kids get to a certain age where they just go to people's houses that you've never met.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I remember that.
She goes, hey, I'm going to be in hot yoga. Is there any way that you can go pick up Echo? And I go, yeah, no problem. So I go to this house and, you walk in and you're like, hi, I'm Echo's aunt. I'm here to pick up Echo. And they both just kind of look at me. They're like, his stuff's in there. And I was like, okay. So we go in, I pick him up. And I'm like, were you okay, buddy?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. I mean, kids are just like, fine. Like they have they have no idea that like something weird, like, and I'm not even saying it's weird, but it was just like such a reminder of like when I would go pick my kids up from like a strange home. Like you really don't know where you're sending your kids.
No, you don't.
And it kind of happens like around 12.
Yeah, I think I was pretty careful about my kids and whose house they went to. And while I could be, once they got their driver's licenses, all bets are off. But
that's the thing now. It's like, I mean, I remember my kids thought that I was crazy because they would be like, I'm going to so-and-so's house. And I'd be like, okay, well, I'd love the mom's number.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, nobody asks for that. I'm like, well, I don't think that's true. And I'm asking for it. And so, but what's weird is that there was this whole culture of like parents being okay with kids doing shitty things.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would like call the parent and I'd be like, okay, well, so, so-and-so is coming to your house. I'm I'm just making sure that a parent is home, because at the time it felt like if a parent was home, then there was nothing amiss going on.
Right. Because you believed people operated the same way you did.
And they'd be like, oh, yeah, no, we're home. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I get a call and it's like, the cops are here. Mom, we were just shooting a BB gun out the back of the house. And apparently it jumped the fence and went through the back windshield of somebody and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's the time my kids shot out a back window.
I feel like a lot of kids go through that. I remember our neighbor, we lived on a cul-de-sac, and she had boys that were older. Our daughters were the same age, but she had boys that were a little bit older. And I remember one of her boys, I believe he was probably about 12, gets brought home by the sheriffs. And they had been on a bridge. The neighborhood we lived in had walkways over the street. So like a bridge type of deal. The boys were up on the bridge shooting paintballs at cars.
You're like, wow, people could have died.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that seems like a good idea. Yeah. Well, no, what's funny is like Jordan and Joey went to this friend's house that they had been to like once before. And so this happened like where all of a sudden the cops show up and the cops are like, hey, has anybody in this house shot a BB gun? And so they're asking like the kid that lives there, and he's like, no. And then another kid, no, not me. My two kids admit to it.
Oh.
They were honest about it. And they were like, well, yeah, we were shooting at the back fence. What they didn't know is that the back fence backed up to this road, and this poor mom is driving by with groceries in the back, and a freaking BB goes through the back of her car, breaks it.
Gosh.
And so I'm like, great, I've got a couple of fucking felons. And all I kept thinking, what's so funny is like, I was so proud of them for being honest, but I was pissed at them for being honest.
Right.
Because we don't even know if either one of my children actually, because they were all doing it.
Right. So like,
I don't know that
actually did it.
So I'm responsible for this fucking woman's car, which is fine. Then it ends up that the woman that's driving, her daughter plays softball with my youngest daughter. So now I've got the two shitheads shooting at cars.
You're like the pariah of the team.
So I'm like, oh, well, and I remember her like saying something at softball, you know, about Jordan and Joey, like, oh, they shot out the back of my car. And I'm like, we're not totally sure that it was them.
Yes. But they were honest about it.
They were honest about it. That's all we know.
Oh, God.
That's really all we know at this point. I mean, they're really heroes in a way.
Because if they weren't, like, who would be paying for your window?
Yeah, right. I mean, like, you should be thankful. Yeah. You should be thankful.
You should be thanking me, actually.
I know. That I have raised honest children.
Right.
That now, in turn, your back window
may
is
not
paid
have
for.
Been there.
Right. And it probably wasn't even them.
Probably not. You're like, look at them throwing the ball. They don't have any aim.
Yeah, seriously. It was zero athletic ability. Yeah, so.
Oh, kids.
Oh, kids.
Oh, kids. All right. So should I let you go since you've been grandmaing all day?
Yes, I've been grandmaing and now I'm buzzed from my booch, as a good grandma does.
As a good grandma.
As a good grandma does. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to
rate, review, subscribe.
5-star rating.
5-star warning.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Next week.
Next week.
Next week. Bye. Hopefully I wake up tomorrow.
Go have another boot. Try 'em out.
I do.